No, I'm not that kind of doctor. Oh, hey, I'm Logan. I work here at Mabel Media, and part of what I do here is I just get to make really cool stuff. And so today I'm going to talk about a really cool thing that I made recently, which is a gigantic paper deer head. I know it kind of looks like a cow right now. Boom. I got to ride in the carpool lane today because I had this in my passenger seat. Yeah, this is giant deer. Hubert, Sharon, Chauncey, Van Throckmorton. I'm going to talk about how to make such a deer. Step 1, find a deer. I've found the best places to find deer at weddings where the bride or groom is a deer. Take pictures of it from all sides, from the front sides and from those.
Wondering if there's maybe an easier way than to catch a deer?
I mean, I don't know. You can call them and like hope they stick around, but that's not going to work either.
No, I mean, like, does a deer have to be involved at all? Like, could they just like buy a...
Oh, that seems really complicated.
More complicated than catching and trapping and training?
I've been instructed to inform you that you can also buy a 3D model online. You have your 3D model in the computer and you flatten it out. It's called UV unwrap. When you go into 2D dimensions, they call that U and V for some reason. I don't know why it's not just X and Y, but I didn't invent 3D, so take it up with God. So now that you have your three-dimensional file flattened all out in these funky shapes, I export that out of the 3D software and I go into Adobe Illustrator. Plug. And from there's a lot of cleanup work to do because the 3D program isn't like designed to make giant paper deer, it's designed to make like cartoons. At this point, I clean up all of the labeling, I make sure all of the tabs and sides are labeled properly. Those tabs are added in the 3D software. Make sure all of those tabs, they each have a label on them, and each labeled tab lines up with a labeled edge that has no tab. And then the tab itself kind of like glues onto the edge of its neighboring piece. I take all of those files, and it's usually a lot, and for something this giant, it's like a lot of pieces of deer, like a lot of pieces of paper. And so I decide what size my paper is going to be, and in this case, I got poster board from Hobby Lobby for 50 cents a sheet. Are they paying for this? They should be. I set up my file, and then I just started basically placing these paper pieces on sheets of 20 by 30 paper and nesting them as best I could to make the best use of the paper, because 50 cents is no joke. You don't want to waste that. I then take those files and I pull out my 130 watt CO2 water cooled laser cutter. It's actually a lot bigger than that. It's like, I can't pull it out. It's on a stand. You adjust your settings and then you hit the go button. Actually, I think it says play, but whatever. It's the cut stuff with laser beams button.
We just don't think that a laser cutter is like a thing that most people are going to have at their disposal.
Oh, well.
Is there a different way to cut this paper?
Like with your mind? Some of you may not have a laser cutter. So if you happen to fall into that category of humans, you can actually use scissors to do all of this same work. Lasers are like magic scissors. Now you've made it this far, you have a whole bunch of pieces of paper. You glue the tabs to their corresponding edges one by one, and eventually there are no more empty tabs and no more empty edges, and instead of a pile of flat paper you have this. And it gets very difficult to do, and when it gets difficult to do, you invent tools to make things better, because that's what we do, we invent things. Gluing stuff way down inside of here is hard because my hand doesn't quite fit. And so in order to glue these crazy seams way down in here, I had to make this long piece of wire with a piece of metal brazed on the end, and I'd hold it down there, and then I had these magnet deals. It worked really well, so invent some tools to help you along the way. So the whole thing is just glued together with regular old 60-cent glue from Hobby Lobby. If people bought all of this stuff from Hobby Lobby would make like $4. The heaviest part of the whole thing is this backer piece, which is just a piece of plywood, 3/8 plywood. There's my signature. This hole is so that you can wear it as a mask. I'm a giant deer. So when you're done with your deer, give yourself a high five, which looks like a single clap, but you know it's a high five, and stand back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. So here at Marvel Media, we like to make really cool things. Some of them are awesome and in 3 dimensions, and some of them are awesome and in 2 dimensions. And we intend to continue to show you a lot of those cool things in the future and how to make them. So we hope you stick around and check it out. You're all dear friends of mine. So then I'm like, not with that sea bass you don't, mister. Oh hey, and that's the 5th way to skin a cat. Oh hey! No. Waffles are cooked on both sides at the same time. Oh hey. The files are in the computer? Did you hear that? Ah, technology. What is this? Hello? You got the innie folds and the outie folds. Would this be a good craft for kids? It depends on if your kids are adults or not.